the main parasitologist of Czech Republic, Mr. Stejskal. When I'm visiting the hospital, he's always asking Mr. Wagner, what are you bringing us today? And
this topic is sometimes now between us is malaria.
Yeah, it's a very good friend of mine.
How many times you got?
I had 9 times malaria, and they told me the stone saved my life. I don't know. Don't ask me. I'm just telling you what happened.
Ty vole, viděl jsi to?
We would like to thank everybody who supports this podcast.
So here we are again.
Back at Shit Happens, episode number 3. And we already covered nice stuff and interesting stuff. But today I have a specific question to you. Because you told me, I think in the first episode, that you visit every country in this world, right?
You have all important questions, Thilo. Yeah, I visited a lot of, I don't want to say all, as I said, but I would say most of them and probably nearly all of them, yeah.
Okay, so you was like in different situations, different climate situations, completely different situations. And one big thing is definitely sickness or illness. So, like you said last time, if you go to the Amazon 700 kilometers into the forest and your friend got a tree on the head and you have to, you know what you're telling me, that's a crazy situation. But this is like an emergency. This is one thing. But the other thing is definitely like real, or not like a real, but like other type of illness and sickness. So, what's about this? Is it a big thing for you?
Yes, it is a lot of it is a big thing because basically after many trips you bring back home many animals.
Animals?
Yeah, many animals inside of your body.
Which kind of?
Yeah, a lot of parasites.
Arapaima?
No, a lot of animals inside of your body which really you are not happy or bringing them back. It's not that you are bringing a new dog to your girlfriend, but if you have worms falling down from your muscles and from your flesh, it's not super sexy, So
that sounds super sexy, no?
So you have, this is the penalty which you are paying for all of these exotic trips, and of course you have these situations because you are not standing in your comfort zone. Yeah. Here you have comfort zone because everything is perfectly done. You have hospitals everywhere.
Yeah.
You have perfect healthcare, but there is nothing like this. And if you travel to these strange places and dangerous places and unsafe places, you need to count that something not might happen, but will happen. Depends if it will be the first trip or the second trip and how big shit happen it will be. So, I had a lot of parasites in my body. I had a lot of illnesses, some dangerous illnesses. And when people ask me what I got, I'm turning it around. I'm always saying, you better ask me what I didn't get.
What you didn't get?
Not many. Let's put it like this. The main parasitologist of Czech Republic, Mr. Stejskal, when I'm visiting the hospital, he's always asking Mr. Wagner, what are you bringing us today? And he doesn't talk about flowers,
Okay, crazy.
And he is super happy if I bring something new because then he can has his sample and he can make his speeches around Europe at universities, and I'm his very good friend.
I think so, yeah, that sounds like a good friend. Okay, so first of all, I never have parasites into my body.
No,
never.
You think you
okay, yeah, okay,
sure, believe me.
Yeah,
European parasites,
true,
most
true.
of people have them.
I never know it. Maybe it's better to never know it.
Yeah,
just for the personal thing. But how is it? Like, you come back and then you get sick and you have parasites in your body, or how does it go? Or is it sometimes that you are still in Amazon and you get sick and you have to come back? Or
Yeah, it depends how long you stay there, you know, because for example, worms in your body, you have different type of worms. Some it's nothing happen. Some of them can kill you as well. You know, depends if you have the worms in your leg or in your heart or in your brain. You know, so you need to be careful. So, but I like the stories because it gives you kind of feeling how it is. You know, so for example, when we were talking about the worms, kind of funny one. I came back from the Amazon. And I was part of the fishing show, and I had their speech about, you know, fishing in the Amazon, and I had shorts. And most of the time when the worm is just going to leave your body and go on the ground, it start itching, you know, so you scratch yourself. So I was talking like this in front of many people, and in the first row, like 2 meters from me, there was a really nice old lady around 60 years old, really, you know, really polite lady, and suddenly it started itching me on my leg. So I scratched myself. The worm fall down on the ground. The lady fall down on the ground, and they were taking her out of the room on that really carrying her on that special bed, you know. So probably good that not many people from further rows saw it, but that was a funny moment. And yeah, of course.
Is it that funny?
Yeah, for me it's really super funny. You know, or you're like waking up in the middle of the night and you have the feeling that always you have something here, you know, but you are in kind of deep sleep, so you always do like this, and you have shit sleep. And then in the morning you look like this and you have a ball here like that, you know, and you touch the ball and it suddenly moves in your hand, like. So then you take a scalpel or knife, cut it, 1, 2 worms, most of the time, sometimes 3, like this. And yeah, you can use them for fishing.
Great.
Yeah. On the other side, I always say, look, worm doesn't go into bad apple, you know? So your body is probably good.
Yeah, no, that's
you
need this view, I think.
Yeah,
to
worms in the body, it's really nothing special. Then you can get really.
Okay, then let's come to the special things. Like, I think one thing we had this topic sometimes now between us is malaria.
Yeah, it's a very good friend of mine.
How many times you got?
I had 9 times malaria.
9.
When you count that on malaria die, I don't know, 2 million, sometimes 3 million people every year.
Okay.
It depends how they count it. And of course, they don't count everything. I was quite lucky. 9 times, yeah.
9 times. Like, otherwise, like 9 times for the time you spend in these places, it's not so often.
Yeah, thank you.
Right?
I would wish that you tried once.
No, I have no idea. But
yeah,
if you live
and last time it was shit because then last year or 2 years ago because of COVID, I'm not sure. But last time I had malaria, I nearly died really, really seriously because I had 2 malarias. I had malaria and falciparum. Because you have 5 species of Pseudomonas, like malaria, and I had 2, and the doctors couldn't see it, so they were treating me only for 1 type of malaria, and I had 2, and I had more than a month's temperatures around 40 degrees.
1 month.
Yeah, over a month. Yeah, that was really close. That was really close.
Really close. Okay, but you can't do something to protect you first, right? It's
a bit like vaccination doesn't exist yet. Probably might exist in the future. They do research about vaccination for malaria, but you're taking antimalarics, you know, but it's not super good for your health as well. So sometimes I was taking it, sometimes not. You shouldn't take it for a long time because then you have hallucination, then you have problem with your skin, you're not so good with the sun because of the skin. You have as well a problem with your stomachs. Many times your problems with your eyes depends on a person. But some years I spent like 8 months in malaric zones. So for me it was impossible to taking anti-malarics all the time.
Yeah.
So
it's gambling, if you get it or not.
Yeah, it's really gambling, and it doesn't matter how many mosquitoes bites you get. Sometimes you can get 20,000, nothing. Sometimes you get one, and it's kind of game over. And it's only one type of mosquito. The problem is that it's not bzz, bzz, bzz. You don't hear them, So you can't hear that you get bitten, and it's impossible to protect yourself. In these places where you have so many mosquitoes, you can do whatever you want, and you will be bitten whatsoever. You can take repellents. If you take repellents from Europe, you do mosquitoes does bzz. So it's really.
You have to live with this.
And then if it's funny when you go to these vaccination centers, there are these nice old ladies telling you, oh, you need to use this spray and you need to use mosquito net and you need to cover yourself, but they never been there,
Okay.
So if you go to these places and if you cover yourself, take gloves and everything, you cover yourself completely and repellent, then you're in deep hole shit anyway, because you can't even breathe and you're too hot, and it's the reality. You will get bitten, that's sure.
Like you told me that you have, for example, local people over there in Amazon. How they live with this?
Yeah, they had malaria many times, of course. That's normal. But malaria is not such a problem of Amazon. It's more a problem of Africa, for example.
Okay.
And it's the easiest place to get malaria is, of course, place with humans, because mosquitoes needs us for getting malaria on more and more people. And so the worst place are the villages close to the jungle, close to the forest, with a lot of water, and where you have a lot of hosts, a lot of people. So malaria can spread very fast. Once you are in the jungle, the risk is not so high.
Okay, so like the way is the dangerous malaria.
Yes, that's the funny part, because most of the people think that they get malaria in deep jungle. No, they get malaria on the way there, which is more risky, because if malaria, most of the time after the bite, you have like 10 days, 12 days, 2 weeks, in general, 2 weeks, let's say, when you see the symptoms, yeah? So it's how you look at it. If you get it on a 1 month trip and you get it in the middle of the forest, it's problematic. If you are lucky and you get back to the village, it doesn't need to be so bad, because sometimes local people, even it's a very basic doctor, they know how to treat these illnesses, sicknesses better than kind of doctors in Europe, because doctor in Europe, they can see it 5 times in a year. They see it 5 times a day, kind of. And then, of course, second option, you get it back home. And it really depends in which hospital you are, because some of the hospitals, they have no experiences with that at all. But of course, in Europe, there are a lot of specialists which know what it means to have malaria. And
do you ever have the situation that you come in and get malaria into the jungle?
Yes.
What do you do then?
Then you need to have antimalarics with you, and you get really shit time, I can tell you. It's because malaria is very...
Can you maybe explain your story about it?
Yeah, malaria is very... if you kind of catch it in the beginning, like you have malaria, you know your body already, and you start treating yourself soon, it's quite okay. Yeah, the problem of malaria is the time, because it's like you're absolutely fine, and in 10 minutes you got so bad you can't imagine, and then let's say 4 hours you are super, super bad, and then you get better, like basically you're completely healthy, and again after that you have the period when you get super, super bad. And if you don't know it's malaria, you kind of you could think, oh, I have eaten something bad, stuff like this. Because malaria, for example, you don't need to go to deep Africa or Amazon. You can get it on classic exotic vacation. In Asia, you go to the ocean and you bring malaria and you don't know it's malaria. And when you go to the hospital too late, it's super dangerous. It's the guy before me in the hospital. He was in hospital 1 hour and he was dead. Yeah, so
malaria.
Yeah. In Czech. So if you go too late, there is no way back. Your body collapses completely. It's getting shorter. The parasites are more and more, and they are more producing in your body, until the moment there is so much that your body just give up. So it's very dangerous. Malaria is very dangerous. It can be kind of like a flu. I don't want to say that completely like a flu, but if you treat it well and soon, you can be out soon. But if you're late, it's very, very dangerous.
What was the longest time? This month?
Yes, that was my longest time with malaria, because the doctors didn't know, and I have two types of malaria. They were treating me only for one type, and they didn't see through the antimalarics that I have the second type, and I got really super bad. And then after a month, I went into the hospital. I said, look, I told them, look, I know myself very good. I had malaria many times. I'm telling you, I have 1 more week, then it's over. I feel it. I'm losing the power, because if you imagine 4 weeks plus having 40 degrees, your body is so tired that you are falling asleep when you are standing. You have few hours during the day when you don't have temperatures, but with me it was always same, like 7 o'clock in the evening, nothing, 7:30, 40, and whole night. Like, these stories, like when you can squeeze the pillow and everything.
Yeah.
It's like full of water.
Yeah.
It was like this. We had to change like 3-4 times a night the bed. It was completely soaked. That's how bad it is. Like not wet, like you can squeeze it and your body is leaking from your pillow.
That is
But that's the
hard.
That's the penalty. If you don't count with that, you can't travel these places.
And in the other way, do you have ever like an easy malaria situation that you have like, okay, yeah, I'm a bit
Yes.
sick, but
I never had super easy, but I had malarias which were quite okay. And the worst part, no, actually I had one maybe even worse, and that when I was malaria and typhus in the same time.
What?
Typhus,
Typhus?
Stomach typhus.
Stomach, yeah.
Stomach typhus. I don't know if is it the correct name in English, but stomach typhus. I think that's the right one. With malaria in the same time. So you don't know if you will die for this or for this.
You test a lot of combinations.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we say what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, no? So.
Yeah. So we have parasites. We have malaria. What else?
Snake bite as well.
How many you got?
I got one, but really bad one from viper in Congo.
Okay.
It was, and I was sleeping. It was really bad. It happened actually because of antimalarics, because I was taking antimalarics so long that one night I was in the tent. I couldn't breathe, and suddenly it was like try to imagine you're sleeping. You don't know about yourself, and suddenly like you can't breathe. I was trying to find a zipper from my tent. I couldn't find it, so I ripped out of my tent, ran in front of the tent, and then lost my mind completely, and I fell down. And I was woken up by bitten from bloody viper because I was on the ground. So that was really bad.
Okay, well, what did you do then? Like, so you like, just for the story, okay?
Yeah.
You sleeping in a tent, then running around in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Get something like a knockout.
Yeah, knocked out. Exactly.
Leaving on the bottom.
Yeah.
Middle of the night still.
Yeah.
And then you wake up because you get bite by a snake
Yes, exactly.
in the middle of the night. Still.
Yes, yes.
What you are doing then?
I killed the viper with my shoes.
Okay, it's the first step.
And then I was fucked up. It's a crazy story, which I don't even know if I should share, but basically you're asking. So I don't know what and how, but I can only tell you that local people brought a stone. They put the stone inside of the bite. The stone
The what?
of the bite.
From the bite, yeah.
Of the snake bite. I lost myself completely. Yeah, I didn't know about myself long time. But then they gave me the stone and they told me the stone in the beginning was white and in the end was black. And they told me the stone saved my life. I don't know. Don't ask me. I'm just telling you what happened. But I didn't get definitely the full venom. Otherwise I would be dead, because these snakes, they can give you as well dry bite or half dry, They don't, very rarely they give you full power of the venom, because otherwise you don't have a chance. I basically think that the viper felt my body, like the heat, come to me, and I moved, and that was the red left.
Yeah.
I even think that the snake didn't want to attack me.
No, it's something that also is really to the other stuff he was talking, that it's most of the time because of your actions and not because of technique.
Actually,
Yeah.
completely right. So that was really not nice, and it happened in Congo. This
Also Congo.
Yeah.
Congo. Okay, so then that's the third one. What else?
you don't need to talk only about these catastrophic things. Only problem with your teeth in places like this. You don't want that I'm your doctor over there, believe me.
I think so.
I was taking to several people teeth with my fishing pliers. And that's really nothing nice. Especially when the teeth breaks in your pliers. Yeah, so only the teeth, it can be such a huge pain. I think the teeth is the biggest pain which you can get, actually.
Because you can't forget it.
No, it's
like
such
direct.
intense pain. Did you ever had pain of teeth?
Yeah.
Yes, sometimes it when you get kind of bubble under it with the liquid, it's so much pain that you can't really take it. And of course there are no doctors. There is only me and my pliers, or someone else and his pliers.
Do you know how many times? Because now you're saying this with the teeth, and you talk about the story with your good friend with the tree.
Yeah, I was stitching many people. Let's put it like this. I was stitching many people, many times and many people.
So you
sometimes only small, sometimes big. Sometimes even with not proper stuff. Sometimes I was using even like a fishing hook with nylon, because I had no equipment. Yeah. Even stitching myself.
It's like a bad movie, like sitting there and...
It is like a really bad movie. And stitching yourself is really funny, I have to say.
Do you feel the pain then?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Or is it different because you do it on your own?
I think it's worse that you do it on your own because you need to watch it,
Ah, okay.
And if you have meat like this,
Oh.
apart, and you need to put it together. But with the small ones, it's good because I use super glue. That's the best. Super glue. It was designed for it. Super glue was designed for that.
Super glue was designed to fix small or...
Yeah. To... like
finished.
Yeah, super glue.
That's...
But when it's small, super glue.
Okay.
Really good.
Okay, this is a nice...
and then just tied it,
Yeah.
Super glue is pretty okay.
Okay. Okay, teeth, I understand. So... of course, everything can happen. If you stay like a year or 9 months somewhere, everything can happen.
Yeah, everything can happen only if you stay 1 day or a week,
Yeah, but yeah.
The risk is getting higher.
Yeah.
That's what I said as well with the Amazon, like with all the risk. People are scared of Amazon, but for me, honestly, Paris or London is more dangerous than 1 day over there at night is for me more dangerous than 1 month in the Amazon. The problem of the Amazon, you have no problems with people, you have no problem with, most of the time, you have no problem with big animals which are super dangerous. The biggest problem is time and how far you are from civilization. And the problem is yourself or people which you have around you. That's the problem. So even now, I have no problem to take my wife with a 1-year-old girl to the Amazon. For me, it's no problem with my knowledge, but only for, let's say, 10 days, 2 weeks. Because then it's changing, because your skin and your body is not resistant for humidity and for the jungle. So after 2 weeks, I said it exactly to my guys when they were with me, on my last trip. Watch your skin very well, because after 2 weeks, you will see that your skin starts to open on many places, and it will be only small opening.
Like small cuts?
Yeah, small cuts, but they are never healing. When you hurt yourself in the Amazon, it's never healing because of humidity and temperature. And these cuts, as well, when you are scratching your mosquito bites, it's getting only bigger, 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 bigger. And when you are there super long time, it goes until the bone. And you get gangrene and you have problem, yeah?
Okay.
So nothing is healing there. And then it's funny, you go back to civilization. First village with a hot shower. You shower yourself, you take a soap, a brush, you clean it until the blood, really hardcore cleaning that you're bleeding everywhere. And in 3 days, you don't know about it. You don't know about it. It's healed. But in the jungle, it's never healing, because our bodies are not used to these conditions. So when you go to the Amazon more than a month, it's starting to be quite risky, because the Amazon is eating you, I would say. It's really eating you bit by bit, bit by bit. And you need to take super care about yourself, mainly about legs. I always use powder, the kids' powder. That's the best. When I was young and stupid, I always didn't give a shit. I had wet shoes, wet legs, wet socks, and I went sleep. And after 3-4 weeks in the jungle, my legs were completely destroyed. Sometimes when I was there a long time, I took socks down, even with part of my skin, when I didn't put the shoes down for several days. Yeah. But I was really stupid back then. Now, I know it's super important to take care about your legs and about your head. And legs, super important. You always, after the day, whatever, you need to keep them dry and take a powder and really put a lot of powder as well between your fingers and keep them dry until next morning as much as you can, because then you avoid these cuts and opening as much as possible.
Okay. Okay, but you told me other way. You're talking about the Amazon. But all the other countries, all the other places you visit, what's about these? Like, what happens there? Because it's also not a civilization spot where you go.
Everywhere you have different problems, you have different stories, you have amazing stuff, and you have the kind of dark parts of each trip.
Let's talk about the dark parts. Yeah, this is the right one for this episode. So I understand 2 weeks in Amazon are quite realistic for everybody, for the health, because
okay. If you have strong mind.
If you have strong mind, okay. Which is the most dangerous place? Not because of people or something like this, just because of the conditions.
I think deserts.
Deserts. That's a good topic. Which desert you visit?
I would say all. Yeah, I'm pretty sure all, but not for a long time. And deserts were never my topic. Okay. I can kind of survive and live in many places, but not deserts. I have very great respect. It's not my territory. I've been in, for example, probably a lot of people talk about Sahara, but for me, most beautiful desert was Gobi in Mongolia, and incredible, beautiful dunes with mountains of sand and incredible sky and sunset, and really amazing place. But there, if you get lost and you don't know what to do, it's just end. And it's brutal end, because if I would have to choose death, it would definitely be cold and not the heat. Because when you are dying in a cold place, it's you just fall asleep. If you are dying in a place like desert, you really you feel it. You really feel it until the very end. So I know some people which are really good, like with skills, but about deserts. But it's not me, because there are no fish.
Yes,
and there are not many other animals. So it's not my topic, honestly.
Okay.
But I think these are the most dangerous places in the world. You can get lost super easy because you don't have any trees. You don't have any navigation, possibilities. Of course, you have sky, but not many points where you can, grab something, and no water. So when you are in the winter, or you have always snow, it's I think deserts.
Okay. And from the fishing country, like fishing countries you visit, is there another country or or an area or something like this where you definitely need to have a good plan how to do it, like in Amazon, for example? Okay, you have to keep it dry, do this. You have like the checklist, you can talk about. Is there something, for example, I know you was in Siberia, how you
Siberia,
for
Russia.
Yeah, in Russia.
Yeah, that's probably a good example.
Yeah,
because there we had temperatures up to -47. If you piss in -47, it's
what's gonna happen?
It's the ground is hit by ice, basically.
Really?
Yeah. It's yeah, there. Yeah, believe me, it's funny when we talk about it here. But so, actually, when I went Siberia for the first time, only the size of Siberia, it's crazy. Because if you think your country is big, then wait for Russia. Siberia is part of Russia, and it's monster. It's when you go to Siberia, you understand why they didn't need to have any like prisons. Where do you want to escape? Where do you want to escape? Where? How? When you have -25, it's like the best temperature in the winter what you can get. So when I got into Siberia the first day, it was -32. And it was after a month in Amazon. So try to imagine.
Right after?
Yeah, I think 2 days. So imagine that you're in +30, +35, 95, 96% humidity, completely different thing. And then in next 2 days, you're in like -30 something degrees. So it's 60 degrees different minimum. So you really don't like it. And if you think -32, it's big. I thought it's big difference, but in a week we had -47. And that's really bad. Especially if you sleep 5 weeks in a tent. Yeah. So then we were ice fishing there. Only in that region where we were, we had more than 250,000 lakes. Imagine, 250,000 lakes. Only in that region, yeah?
It's a few.
Most of them unfished completely. Because you can't get there in spring or summer or autumn. You have to go there only in the winter. Everything is frozen, so you can get there. To some of them.
How you can get there?
By special vehicles. It's called by armed like tank.
Okay.
We were
like a tank.
Yeah, like a tank. Yeah, we were using these like and then very huge cars with like monster tires. Like monster.
I saw this picture. Yeah,
monster tires. And the Siberian trip was completely crazy because we had a local guy. His name was Kolya. He was small guy, like, I don't know, 160, 165 centimeters. And he started the day with vodka. If you think you can drink vodka, you're completely wrong. You can't drink with them. Actually, you can, but very short, yeah. Because he started the day with vodka, like glug, 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 half liter of vodka, and you couldn't see anything. He was completely fresh, no problem.
It helps with the temperature.
Probably helps with everything, you know, but it's normal. And was funny, there you have this UAZ, these special Russian cars. You have UAZ and UAZik. Very basic cars. Basically, you are fixing these cars kind of with a hammer. You know, if something doesn't work, you just take a hammer and hit it, and
it works.
It works again. So kind of that style. And I asked him in the beginning how far we need to go, and he said, "Yeah, very, very close." So what close means is 500 kilometers. Yeah, that's very close there. Sometimes it's like from village to village, 300-400 kilometers. So imagine that you're driving so far, and I don't know if we have met maybe 10 cars. Yeah. And then after a whole day and 10 cars, I don't know, 8, 10, 12, but very small number, you know, for the distance, there was a sign of stop. Like here, like stop. Like if you get on a road where you have 4 directions and you have stop, and then you get the colors until it's red, and you know that you can go without the lights, only the stop sign, and big sign with Russian language. Yeah, but it was quite far, and I wasn't taking you know, so much care about it. But for me, it was super interesting that guy, after 500 kilometers, few cars, he really stopped. I said, fuck, that's democracy, you see. This is democracy. There was no one, no other car, no other people, no one living there, and he stopped. So I said, shit, you know, in the middle of nowhere, and he respected the rules. But probably that wasn't the case. Because suddenly he told me, you know, Jakub, open your doors and put off your seatbelt. I was looking at him like this, like, what do you want to do? Are you sure? And he said, yeah, you need to open the door and take the seatbelt. And we continue. I said, why? Tell me as one, because in Czech Republic, we don't normally do it, or in Europe, that you would continue with open doors and seatbelt off. And he said, Jakub, how you want? Now we will be crossing Frozen River. And if the car will, you know, go through, I have a chance to escape the car. I can jump out of the car and maybe I can survive. But if you will have your doors closed and seatbelt, you have a high chance that you will be finished. So I was looking at like him, you know, like he's completely crazy, but I really understood then that he's serious. So I opened the doors, took the seatbelt, and then we went through the river, Frozen River. In that moment, I didn't know that there is 1.8 meter of ice, you know.
Yeah.
But then we were crossing second river, third, 5, 10 lakes, I don't know how many streams, and always crossing some water. And then logically you start asking the questions, you know. And I was always wondering, how does he know when he can cross the river and where not? And when the season starts and when is the end of the season? So I asked him this question and he looked at me like I was completely stupid. And he said, I don't understand why you don't understand. It's completely logic. The season starts with the first car which go through and the season ends with the first car which goes down. I don't know what you don't understand about it. So that was funny. From that moment, I was hoping that we won't be the last ones, you know. And that was the style of traveling there. And then you have these huge cars with like massive. Actually, the car is not so big, but it's like normal car with huge wheels. No. And I was admiring it, and I was saying, I need that for our highways,
At home.
Yeah, I need that because it would be so easy to go on the field, no traffic jam, nothing. So I went there and I was admiring the wheels, and I was hoping the wheel will hold me, so I would, and I fall kind of down like into the swimming pool, because it was completely soft completely. And I was like, what are they doing? Are they stupid? How they want to drive with it? And then I found out that I'm the stupid guy, because it was soft for a reason, to move, through a lot of snow.
Yeah.
So that's what I understood. Try to imagine that you are going again a little bit, which means 100 kilometers somewhere. There was a road with stone. And he said, yeah, now we need to put more air because I don't want to destroy the tires. Of course, logic. So you expect you're in Russia, you have huge car, huge tires, then he will take a huge compressor, put the huge compressor into these huge tires and fill it in a few minutes. It was exactly not like this. So the small compressors which you can buy at the gasoline station for like maybe bike or bicycle maximum.
Really?
Like this for 12 volts, kind of kid's toy. He put it into the 12 volts, take this small compressor outside, put it into the huge tire, and of course 5 minutes, nothing. You don't even see it's moving, So waiting there, and then it comes. It wasn't a problem of time, actually, kind of was, but not because you think there would be the time problem. The problem was that there was again vodka. And the tire every tire was like 1 glass of vodka or 2 glasses of vodka. And in Russia, it's not like European style of vodka, yeah? Then you have 50 or 100. So it's like a cup of tea. Yeah. And these cars, they have 6 wheels, 6 tires. And you don't need to be genius. 6 times 1 or 2 vodka, it means KO in the first round.
Yeah.
For everyone from Europe, So when they did it first time, I said, I can, And my team, the cameraman and soundman, they tried to do the competition of vodka between them, like Czech Republic against Russia.
Yeah.
I can tell you they end up very bad. Really, really bad. Next day in the morning.
How many wheels? Every 6. They get every 6.
Yeah.
They do every 6.
For every wheel, minimum 1 vodka.
And they do?
Yeah, they
Okay,
do. Yeah.
okay, they do.
So, next morning, there on that truck, there is a small window, quite small window in the middle. I can tell you every 20 minutes, one of my guys was like this from the window. All the stretch. So basically, if there would be car behind us, they would see exactly where we are going, because Czech guys marked it very, very well everywhere where they went. And like a week after, I had experience with vodka as well, because my father spent a lot of time in Russia, and he told me, whenever that might happen to you, you need to you need to eat a lot of sadlo. I don't know how to say sadlo in English. Fat. It's
Fat, yeah.
butter, but the fat.
Yeah, fat, yeah.
So you need to eat a lot of fat, and then you are unbreakable.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
My grandma says the same.
yeah, and I can tell you, not really. It's really not good as well. Because if you are throwing because of the fat or because of vodka, it really doesn't matter. I can tell you, I tried it. I end up very bad as well. This is our vodka. So, but yeah, with Russians, you drink with them or against them, nothing in the middle. And you can never win. That's guaranteed. They're well trained.
Okay. So, and you visit 1 time or more?
I visited more, but that was a funny trip because we were a long time there. We were filming there ice fishing for pike. And the ice fishing was there super crazy, You go on a lake, and I brought my driller from Czech Republic.
This was my next question. If you say 1 meter 80 ice,
Yes.
every normal it didn't work.
Of course, it didn't work because I was drilling until my handle I wasn't true. So I said, "Fuck! What I'm going to do? You know, it's too thick." So then they gave me these Russian drillers, you know, the engine drillers. It's like you have feeling you are like a J.R. Ewing drilling oil, and you imagine these huge lakes, huge but immense lake. You don't see the other side. So you walk in the middle of the lake or 300, 400, 500 meters from the shore and you start drilling, you drill it, nothing, still nothing. And suddenly you are drilling something dark, something black. And when it happened the first time, I said, shit, it's really oil here. But then I was looking at it, I said, no, it's a mud. And then in my brain was like, wait a sec. I'm in the middle of the lake. How is that possible? And then I got it. There was no water.
It's completely frozen.
Completely frozen until the bottom. So suddenly I was drilling the bottom. So I said, shit, where are the fish? So I went another 100 meters drilling again, mud. Another 100 meters drilling, mud. So like 15, 20 holes. Bloody nothing, no water. And then you find the place where is no mud. Then you put your lure under the ice, and you find out that there's 30 centimeters water. You say, "No bullshit, it can't be here, nothing living." You know, boom, pike, boom, pike, boom, pike, boom, pike, boom, pike. Full. I never had such a crazy ice fishing like in Russia. Crazy. But the problem is that you don't enjoy it, yeah. Because, believe me, after one day of ice fishing, you're fighting with your crew that they should go fishing as well. Because it's not about who will go to land the fish because of the pleasure. It's fighting who will not go to land the fish. Okay. Because once you put the hands into the hole, where is the water, believe me, the water feels really beautiful. Really warm. Yeah? And then you put it like this up, and in 30 seconds, you're completely dead.
That was the question, like how long you have time to get the fish? Because
no, to get the fish, you need to be like super fast. Don't picture back. Because the Russians, what they do, they grab the pike by tail, they do like this into the snow, and in 3 minutes,
it's a frozen pike.
It's frozen pike.
No,
really, frozen pike. Like a candle. Really like a candle. Boom. Candle. Really insane. I've seen houses with, I don't know, maybe 1,000 pike ladies. Candle. Completely insane. And listen to that. So you take your hands out, and if I believe that in 2 minutes, if you put a knife through your hand, you wouldn't feel it. You would see only the blood. So fucked up are your hands. So if you think like, I lost my leader, I will make a new one. No, forget it. You have no chance. Even going on the toilet. That's
You're right.
Yeah.
But how you do it? You was there 5 weeks.
Yeah.
5 weeks. And do you have any chance to warm you up in the tent?
Yeah, between your legs.
But so you're wearing 5 weeks these clothing you need there.
Look, you have a lot of, you have, thermo, you have freeze, I have, Sirius have special combinations for Mount Everest or K2, because really, -50 is no joke. You can die.
Yeah.
And especially when you sleep out. So try to imagine that you sleep in this small A tent, like very basic tent, which gives you a little bit feeling of that you're in security, but it's bullshit, So, typical story. Try to imagine that you wake up in your bedroom, 3 o'clock in the morning, and you really want to go on the toilet. Are you going immediately?
Yeah.
Me not. I'm trying to convince my body that I really don't need to go.
In this situation,
when I'm in bedroom, I wake up 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. I really need to go on the toilet, but I'm trying to fall asleep again.
No, I have to go.
Yeah.
I have to go.
Sometimes I have to go. Sometimes I'm trying to convince myself. Try to imagine that you wake up 2 o'clock in the morning, Siberia, when you have thermo, freeze, a jacket, the combinations for Everest, and you need to go outside, put everything down, take your monster out of the pants, and piss into the snow. You really don't want to go up.
Yeah.
Believe me, you really try to convince your body. So I did it the first time. It's really like you are asking yourself for a bit if you're man or woman. You have difficulties.
It's like this.
You have difficulties to find it out. You do it. You go back to your tent, and you are saying you are such an asshole. What you are doing here? And then you need to go again. So until the moment when you find a secret of plastic bottle. The best is the milk one, because it's bigger. If you take the bottle for water, it's a little bit more difficult. Let's put it like this. So by the size of your monster, you need to decide the size of the bottle. And you need, 2 o'clock in the morning, you put everything down. You need to try to hit yourself inside. And then it's really nice. You do it into the bottle. It has really good things that you can as well warm your up, because that's the last and the only thing which is warm. You just need to be careful in the morning that it's not apple juice. And of course, not happening like my cameraman, which he thought that he's pissing into the bottle. And in the end, he found out that it wasn't actually completely true. That all his piss was in his sleeping bag. Yeah, but it's frozen very fast, so you don't need to move forward.
Okay, that's a good reason.
So, yeah, and even going on a big toilet, it's not easy, because we normally had like special tent. We cut the ground, the folly on the ground. And you can go on the very hard winter because you can destroy your intestines. So you need to go into the tent where you cover yourself against the wind. Make a hole, a little bit, and make your. What do you need? We as well say in Czech, zmrzlý jako sobolí hovno, which means frozen like a shit of sobol. Sobol is animal, yeah.
Okay.
And when I was young, I was understanding why there is saying zmrzlý jak sobolí hovno, frozen like a shit of sobol. Then I understood it very fast because it's like a stone in 20 seconds. So you put it back, clean everything, but in a time when you are there, you need to move your tent because there is a high risk that you will dig a surprise of your previous friends. So even such a basic thing like going on the toilet has completely different dimension in Siberia.
It sounds like, yeah. It sounds like a real adventure. Like
there are no parasites. It's that fun.
Okay, so this is, to be honest, like you said, I would, for the death, I would choose the cold. But for something like go to the toilet, I will definitely choose the warm, like 100%. This sounds like a daily work system you have to figure out to go to the toilet.
But then you need to take to exotic your freezer. And then you can choose both places, but there is no place where you have both, You need to suffer. And that's what I'm saying. If you want to catch big fish, you need to suffer.
Okay, so what was the biggest pike you caught there?
I think around 17 kilos. We didn't weigh it, but...
From the length?
Around 120. 120, a little bit over 120. You have no time, If you want, you want to release the fish, you need to be super fast.
Okay. And you want to visit it one more time?
For sure. I know that for many people, Russia is not now super famous, but you have good people and bad people everywhere. Same in Russia, and I met there some incredible people. And nature-wise, is I think one of the most beautiful place on earth which you can visit, and very untouched on many places. You have so many places with no human steps.
Okay. I think just from the length now of this episode, we have to come to an end. But I think in general, we could definitely make another part about stuff, what could happen, which are maybe not in your interest because it's not nice or,
Because of shit happens.
Because of shit happens. So, but I think for the first, there was a great overview about the stuff, what can happen, shit can happen. Yeah, so I think it would be good to get it done right now, and we're heading over to the next episode.
Before I think I'll stop.